thought we were live. I thought we were live the entire time.
Every song is a fucking journey.
This is the worst tour I've ever done.
Anthony Crawford says Gene Simmons is crazy.
Black Album was one of the greatest fucking records of all time.
Dude, that dude is crazy. Rock and roll ain't dead.
Metal was banned.
What was the reason why it was banned?
Politics and religion.
Next record's 3-chord rock. Yeah, we're gonna do an AC/DC record.
When we do the next record take, we need to interview the producer and just make sure that they're not gonna invade the Capitol.
I'm gonna keep my opinions to myself. Thank you so much! This is why I get banned from tours.
Nobody does anything to get anyone in trouble. Like, no alcohol is consumed on the bus.
Just yoga and prayers.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Brad. We're missing a couple of people. It seems there's a power outage in Los Angeles. Can you hear me, Brad? All right, everyone, let's take a quick break. I'm going to show you Brad Cooper's reel while he gets his audio working. Back in a moment. Mr. Adams, Brad.
You can hear me now.
I can fucking hear you now.
Everything that could go wrong went wrong. It was like the power was out for like the last 3 hours. The power came on 5 minutes ago, and then the whole computer had to reboot, and so it's like a miracle here.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Jesus Christ.
Like
Don, where are you at?
I'm in my front yard, actually. There's your bulldog.
Oh, and a bulldog.
Wait, do you have power there, Don?
I do, yes.
You do.
I'm just in my front yard anyway.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the power is out like all over town over here.
That's freaky. Do you know why?
No. It's just, one of those things.
Yeah. It's that fucking Witherfall video. Shut down the power grid for the whole town just rendering.
Jake Dreyer is having technical issues as well. I personally think he took down his power mains last night when he was fucked up working on some guitar riffs. He sent me some dude. Did he call you?
Yeah, he was watching the Packers all messed up.
No, he was not.
He's like, I love to get messed up and watch football. That's the text I got.
That was you.
Yeah. Well, I missed the whole game because I was color correcting.
Did they at least win?
I made sure the whole game got blown for Don by, constantly interrupting the game.
I saw the last 2 minutes, and they were the ugliest part.
Well, you take it they didn't win.
No, they did not. But, it's his first season, so you got to be pretty happy with getting 2 rounds into the playoffs.
Right.
Oh, my God.
How long have you been into basketball for?
Huh?
How long have you been into basketball for?
Oh, no, football.
Just kidding, Don.
Oh, you're doing the old, you're like the guy on Mad TV who used to say, go sports guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely in that ballpark. So.
Oh my God, Jake is texting me. He has questions, but I'm going to let him ask those when he comes on. Oh Lordy, let's see here. You guys, if you have any questions for Brad here, he's been on a perilous journey with us making music videos for not as long as Don, but for quite a long time.
For what feels like 9 years, but
when did we go to Utica for the music videos?
That was in August.
Was that August?
But I mean, actually, what's funny about this is so we started. The first time we ever really shot anything for Witherfall was during the pandemic, like in the first year of the pandemic, which was exciting to be in the recording studio where we were all together.
Right.
Actually,
and that was
the first stuff we shot together.
Before.
Yeah.
That was before the storming of the Capitol, I believe.
No, it was earlier than that. Wasn't that like in?
Yeah.
Wasn't that in 2020 that we shot that stuff?
Yeah, it was December of 2020.
Oh yeah, that's like the long time. That's like the long time video. Yeah. Those are good looking videos.
We shot it out in Woodland Hills.
Yeah, and we shot the river at like 5 in the fucking morning, and it was freezing out.
Because it's California, the river had dried up. On top of it all.
And we didn't bring any power for our phones, and that was our only playback source.
Well, we managed to make it work. That was good.
Yeah, it's the nick of time.
But actually, the first stuff we shot together, what's funny, was with you, with Ave Rose for that Merry Gentleman video.
Oh, I love that video.
Yeah, the absinthe bar we set up. If you're in that video.
Yeah, that was where I met you, Brad. That was, I just remember Ave's like, me and Travis don't drink. And I'm like, that doesn't mean the rest of the cast doesn't drink. So I like went to the store and bought a bunch of booze. It was not a sober occasion.
Yeah, that came out pretty good, though.
Yeah,
Travis
that was a good
great.
video. It was fun.
He's great in that video, Travis.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody was great for that. That was really good.
Yeah, he's so vibey in that. It's great.
There are other vibey is such a euphemism. Like you mean to say like 10 other things, but you can only say vibey and not get in trouble.
Yeah.
Complicated world we live in.
What's all that behind you, Brad? Is that some books?
So those are, by the way, yes, these are real books.
Oh,
because we were just talking about this the other day that my girlfriend was talking to somebody and she was like, "What's that background?" She said, "Oh, those are all make-believe books we use for a set."
Oh.
Anyway, real books. Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, I have a library. So, what are you up to besides doing the next Witherfall video?
It's just the next video, and then after that one is the next video.
Yeah.
We also have another one after that one.
Yeah, the good news is Brad has 3 hours off. And he's talking to Joseph Michael. In those 3 hours, he's talking to Joseph Michael. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's always a mixed bag of different stuff. Really is like really different shoots from shoot to shoot to shoot. So you never know what'll happen every year.
Yeah. Well, listen, Don, if I can't sleep, nobody else can. There's a song title for it. By the way, Brad's website is in the comments if anyone wants to go check it out. If anyone has any questions for Brad, please ask in the comments section.
Yeah.
So I brought the two of you on because I think you could nerd out on some of this technical stuff with this filmmaking business that I know nothing about.
That's what we spent the morning doing.
Yeah, it's all parts of it. Yeah, the classic pipeline problems with the color correction stuff, and every edit for everything forever has been like this, where it's the late night phone calls and then the back and forth thing. And I used to shoot stuff for Avid for the video and the company that makes Pro Tools, and those were like some of the earliest videos I got involved with, and those still had the same things happen. It's just cooked into the process. There's like the problem solving, and then the unexpected things that happen.
Just historically speaking, no two computers do the same thing ever.
No.
You know.
Or people. Important facet.
But I ran off to the bar for like 4 hours after the last time I talked to you, so I'm in a good spot right now.
A lot more comfortable.
Yeah.
Wait, you were at the bar just now? Is that where you ran from?
Yeah. I was over at the Club TG, my favorite dive bar in all of Los Angeles.
Where's that?
It's in Atwater. You know, it's been there forever, but it's tricked out now. It's a little more like cleaned up and hipstery.
Is that down by the post office?
Yes, it's right next to that golf club store, or like, yeah.
I lived on that side of town for forever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone who does anything creative lives over here. For the first 12 years, and then anytime you get a job, you got to go to like Santa Monica, where the producers live.
Right.
So the offices are always like way far away, so that they have a short drive. You know.
Oh yeah. Well, I've had plenty of shoots I had to go to where you left in the morning and then that thing happened, where there's a 2-hour delay to the 45-minute trip.
Yeah.
Just going nuts when you get into the shoot, whatever it is.
Yes. Everywhere is between half an hour and 3 hours away in Los Angeles.
Right. Depending on the time of day.
Oh my God. I got Jake texting me. Jesus Christ. I'm glad we were able to get some of that footage into Where Do I Begin?
My favorite shot is there's a couple, but my favorite shot is the chip in Jake's guitar, and then the face that he makes because he chipped his own guitar
Oh, right.
walking on stage.
Now that I've
Just
studied this.
a huge dent, you know.
You don't even want to know how we got that chip.
There's also, I think Zeus will be surprised how much Zeus there is in the video.
Dude, there's a lot of Zeus.
Yeah,
I should put him in the tags of the metadata.
It's also the only probably rock video. I guarantee it's the only rock music video in the history of the world where Don Adams is just stuffing his face with food for like 4 seconds straight at the corner of the frame in that one shot. It's just like All in the Family. That shot makes me laugh. Remember the All in the Family where they all sit at the table and reach past each other and they're just eating for like 2 minutes straight?
They must have parodied that with The Simpsons.
Yeah, that's what that. Yeah, that's what that shot reminds me of. It's just us eating, you know.
Oh, you could elucidate on some of the scenes that are in there, like the one with the key. What's up with the key?
Yeah. That was a running gag that Zeus would do, where he would try to pick the right key to open the door every night.
Oh,
and
right.
So every night he would go, but that one was particularly because we were all on the porch drunk. And there was actually a Joseph was shooting with his phone, which was an angle I couldn't find, but it would have been cool to have the other angle, the reverse. Mm-hmm. So we have more coverage drunk than most, I guess, people do sober because everyone has their phones out at 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's changing all the time in the world.
Yeah. And actually, I will say, a lot of that stuff is pretty ugly, but there's a couple shots in the first minute, which is my favorite part of the video, where actually we cut my iPhone straight into the cameras. Mm-hmm. You know, that stuff with the weird books and the skulls. And that's kind of pretty cool that stuff looked as good as it did, you know?
Oh, well, the phone's amazing these days. I mean, you know. It's incredible, actually, how good the iPhone is. I mean, it's even got ProRes footage in it now, which is like a professional cinema.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy that that's in the phone.
Yeah, sometimes there's a real like depth of field to it where you're like, wow, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Considering I'm all that footage, I'm drunk shooting it. You know?
Oh my God. Montana Wookies just gave us $5 in a super chat.
Oh, nice!
I didn't know there were Wookiees in Montana.
Oh yeah, I think that's where most of the Wookiees come from, is Montana.
They celebrate Life Day in Montana.
Yeah. I went to a great like bluegrass opera house in Montana.
That does seem like something they would have.
Yeah, it was a really great place. I was on a shoot out there.
That's cool.
What's the main? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Helena? I don't know. Helena, Montana?
Yeah, I don't know what the main areas in Montana are.
The Devil's Tower, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's Wyoming, I think.
That's Wyoming. Yeah.
That's all I know. Showing
Isn't
my
it
ignorance.
Butte or whatever?
Montana,
okay.
Yeah. So.
If we keep talking this ignorantly,
ignorant stuff you want to spew out.
Yeah. Montana Wookiee's going to take his money back. If we keep.
That's what this whole thing is.
Montana.
Oh my God.
Yeah, one other thing that's in that video that's great that is in there, and I really forgot about it until we had put it together, and then I realized, we had that shot of the church with the lightning behind it. I mean, that was just kind of a miracle that the iPhone was around and there was a lightning storm that one night when we left the studio, just as we were leaving too. I mean, we would have totally missed it if we had already left.
Yeah, I love that shot. It feels like a Blue Oyster Cult shot.
And it's completely real. It just happened. It's kind of the miracle there.
For anyone wondering, he's talking about the upcoming video that him and Don worked on for Why Begin forever. That'll be out Wednesday at midnight.
Yes.
Assuming Iran doesn't bomb us all into oblivion.
Well, the power came back on, so that's a big help. I'll really get that video done. I wasn't sure if we were going to have to hand crank it with the wooden pump, but now, I mean, I have candles set up in here because like we were all set to be living in the dark for the rest of the night.
God, like my early 20s.
Mm-hmm. When did you move out to Los Angeles, Joseph?
In '99, in April of '99.
Oh yeah.
So I missed the Northridge thing that everyone.
No, I did too. I missed it by 1 year. We moved out
it too.
in 95.
Oh,
yeah,
you
I
didn't
got
see it?
98.
I honestly wasn't even thinking about it. When we moved out here, I ran into a guy at a gas station in Phoenix, Arizona. It was 2 days before Christmas, and I drove across country. And this guy had his guitar in the back seat of his car and a bunch of other stuff. And somehow we wound up talking, and he was like, yeah, I'm splitting, man. I'm not going to California. And I'm not living in California anymore because of that earthquake. And I was like, huh, earthquake. And then I wound up working at Tower Records. The first job I had out there was at Tower Records. And a guy I worked with was there in Northridge and told me about how when the earthquake happened, the floor in the house was waving up and down, and all the windows exploded in the house. That was the first time I had that. Oh wow, that can happen. That was the light bulb moment after we'd moved out there. That yeah, that's gonna happen one day.
But at least we'll, as I always say, we'll die warm.
Oh yeah, or something.
I experienced one really strong earthquake, and it happened while I was on LSD and I was putting eyeliner on, and then all of a sudden, like the line started changing on my face, and that made it really crooked. And I thought, I thought I was
your
losing.
eyebrows looked like Charlie Brown's T-shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
What year was that?
2000, 2001, maybe, probably 2000.
I think I remember that one. I was living in Hollywood when that happened. And it happened really like 1 o'clock in the morning or something like that.
I remember that one too. I was on Lanewood in Hollywood.
Oh my God.
I remember it was so long that I put pants on during it. In case I had to run out of the house.
It's true, because that's what happens. Yeah, I remember bouncing up out of bed and being like, oh man, that's happening. And then, you kind of wait for a second to see if it's going to get worse, which is crazy. But I was like in a brick building in Hollywood up on like the 5th floor. So.
Yeah. Yeah, the first earthquake I was in, I thought there was a ghost. I thought the bed was moving from a ghost.
Like The Exorcist.
And then you went, oh, of course.
Right. Yeah, that's actually what's happened most of the times it's happened. It's been kind of a like, whoa, wait, that's happening. Like I was in the kitchen one time here in Culver City. The walls just kind of started waving back and forth, and it was like, am I hallucinating? Nope, that's happening. Oh man, And then you wonder, like, is it going to get really crazy or?
It's like the first time you do coke, and then you go, I can't get to sleep. And then you go, oh yeah, that's right. I've heard.
None of us have ever done anything like that, Don. This is the wrong program for such talk. By the way, our friend that was at the last Witherfall show ended up breaking her hand. I don't know how. It's all over. Yeah, she has like a boxer's fracture.
Oh my God, the metacarpal? I did that. I cracked the metacarpal.
You got one too.
Yeah,
the small metacarpal.
Yeah, that's why Mackley Green can't fight Apollo Creed in Rocky, and that's why Rocky gets the shot. because Mackley
What?
cracks the third metacarpal in his hand and he can't fight him. And I fell out of the shower and cracked mine.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. And the bulldog just sat there looking at me. The bulldog wasn't like Rin Tin Tin. There was no like running to the rescue to get police or something. The bulldog just walked out.
That was Alice Cooper, right?
That was Alice Cooper. That was a bulldog ago.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Man, I was on my way to a. Man, this is crazy that I missed this. We were going to go see Aerosmith, and somebody really great was the opening act for that, actually. And I wound up breaking my knee before we went to the show. I was in high school, and I just skipped the concert and just like stayed out in the car because I was like, it was so painful. We were like up in Massachusetts, so we were like an hour and a half from where I lived. I didn't find out till the next day that I broke part of my knee off.
Oh, man.
Yep. Stupid things that happen. Oh, my God. I know. It was Ted Nugent was the opening act.
Oh, nice.
Way back before Ted Ready to Storm the Capitol. Or the other Ted, the earlier Ted Nugent.
Yeah.
He's still always a good show. I saw him in front of a giant Confederate flag in Baton Rouge, which was the venue's giant Confederate flag, not even his giant Confederate flag. It's always there. And he was great. And he saved all his like crazy ranting for right in the middle. And I just went and peed like I do when Roger Waters does Money.
Right.
Jesus. I don't know who the hell Ted Nugent's going to storm any capitals with a bow and arrow.
Oh, man, he's up for it, though.
In the loincloth?
Oh, yeah. Back in the day, yeah, I had a cousin who was really into that song, Cat Scratch Fever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, sitting in the car when we were kids, and she had that song on. I was like...
He was always hard to look at because of that tail that he wears. It's like, I love Jethro Tull, but I can't look straight at that guy. When his codpiece on, you know? It's like, that's not, I can't.
Yeah, I used to hate that song, actually, Living in the Past. And then it kind of clicked, and I was like, that's a pretty great song. But it took about 40 years.
Yeah. I think even as a casual fan, I have like 16 Jethro Tull vinyl. But that's because they're cheap. They're not like Zeppelin or Sabbath or Floyd, where they never go down in price no matter what you do.
If you can find them anywhere.
Yeah, it's $30 a pop no matter what.
Do you like that guy's voice?
Well, he's a character, you know? And that's what I like about him. Like, most of the people I like can't sing, you know?
So you're into Captain Beefheart.
Not that much. That voice that's hard to take. I try to get on board with that guy, and I just so far I've failed.
Everybody's tried to like what is that album called?
The Trump Mask Replica or whatever. Yeah.
That's one of those.
We have an interloper.
Mr.
Dreyer.
Oh my God! It's Jake Dreyer of the dark melodic metal band Witherfall.
Hello. I think there's an echo. No?
I don't hear Jake at all.
There's a Charlie and echo.
While Jake fixes that, I just wanted to say that fucking Jethro Tull, that guy's voice sounds like a mushroom. Like if anyone's voice could sound like a mushroom, like it's all woody. And
Ian Anderson? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Am I here? Can someone hear me?
That's probably what he had in mind.
But I will say one thing he's doing now because he's old is you know how they down tune all the songs and then they write songs for their lack of a voice. But I have a real problem with throats. Like I can't listen to people who are straining their vocals.
Oh, so like you know who's the king of that is that Woodstock performance by the famous one.
Joe Cocker.
Yeah, the Joe Cocker performance at Woodstock.
So that's how the new records are. It's like he's old. Yeah, it sounds painful. I can't.
It's like a
Yeah.
rusty pipe.
Yeah,
with cat claws on it.
yeah.
Jake, what's up with the American Psycho getup?
Can you actually hear me? The Wi-Fi.
Now we
I'm
can.
trying to get.
Yeah, I hear
Can
you.
you hear me now? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I'm at another house right now because currently have some Wi-Fi issues. I can only stay on for a second, but American Psycho get on. Oh yeah, white walls. That makes sense. No, I was
White
saying
wall.
that Donna gave me some nice 2021 more stuff to geek out over because I know we're all huge 2001 fans. So
I send Jake an email, like one email a day about 2001. Like,
Oh, really?
it's true.
we found a site the other day that has every single frame, and you hit a button and it just randomly shows you one frame from 2001, and it
Right.
really
Incredible.
points out how like every shot in that movie is brilliant. You know?
It blew my mind the amount of how meticulous, you know.
Yeah.
He must
We can
have
do a
been.
product placement. So this is the book you want to read if you're into 2001.
Yes, that's the one that you
Oh.
told me about, Brad. Yep.
Yeah, there we go. Product placement.
Yeah.
I gotta get that.
Yeah, that was the one. Yeah, Brad was telling us about. I'm sure.
Yeah, Brad recommends that one.
But
That's a
yeah,
good
so-
anecdote for this kind of thing. So how many times have you seen 2001, Jake?
oh my God! Every time I fly in an airplane, my thing what to do is you take some Ambien and then you watch 2001 and try to stay up as long as possible. But the cool thing about it is that when you're in an airplane with it, it sounds just like 2001, like the background. But
Yeah.
it's my favorite place to watch one. You know, I mean, the screens suck, but it's almost like a immersive experience with it. It's amazing.
You're in the Orion shuttle with a whole bunch of other people.
What's that?
You're in the Orion shuttle with a whole bunch of other people.
Yeah, exactly. Except for that one scene, you know, I love it when she's floating through the air, you know, and she gives him the pin.
Yeah.
So when you're there watching it, but man, I've probably seen 2001. I mean, at least 30 times or so. I mean, at least different parts of it, and it never gets old. Certain parts. I watch my favorite Christmas movie of all time, though, is thanks to Joseph that told me about it though too. Was Eyes Wide Shut. So I watched that quite a bit this holiday season.
Really?
Yeah, it's set during Christmas time.
It
Makes
is
sense.
set during Christmas time. It's true. Although
The last flight I took, I did a Jake Dreyer, and I watched 2001, and it really
On
does.
Ambien?
No, I was so tired though. And I'm drinking, so like the more tired you are, the better it works. Even though
Yes.
I don't know about everybody else, but it's all a racehorse by a nose. But Clockwork Orange is my favorite Kubrick movie.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That one I've probably seen the most out of all the Kubrick ones because I would get just drunk and I ultimately put it on a Sunday evening and I was watching it almost every Sunday for about 4 months or so. It's so good. It's incredible. But then, but 2001 is such a different movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got about 4 where it's like right there, like.
Yeah, I mean, The Shining still.
Every movie he ever made has moments of brilliance, but people like these people who read Stephen King and they're like, Stephen King doesn't like The Shining, and I'm like, it doesn't matter because every Kubrick movie, particularly The Shining, there's like 6 images in it that never leave your head again.
Right.
The first time you see it. Like if I say right now The Shining, you immediately go poof, 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 like
which were also not for the Stephen King fans there, not parts of the book. A lot of those things that come to your head were not even included.
No, like
I don't think Stephen King. He doesn't say he doesn't like it. He says that he made a different movie than the book.
Yeah, he says he doesn't understand the
Correct.
character, which is true because it's Jack Nicholson and he appears crazy right from the get-go. But yeah, it's But
I mean,
heard a
Nicholson's a great actor, but he's not good enough to act like he's not crazy, like Jack Nicholson's crazy from the moment go. You know?
It's one of the only instances, because if you watch Kubrick movies, he makes actors behave differently than they ever have. Like Tom Cruise isn't like Tom Cruise in Eyes Wide Shut whatsoever.
Yeah, that's correct.
But you do hire Jack Nicholson to be Jack Nicholson, particularly at that point in time.
The one that's an obvious answer here is that everyone's already seen, but is the Shelley Duvall case, or like some of that stuff where they make her insane, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
He was scared as fuck of those guys.
I heard something
that really did a job on Shelley Duvall.
Oh yeah, I heard a great story. I was going to tell Jake today, which was that you hear about King and his wife staying in the hotel, and they were one of the only people there, and that's the night that he came up with The Shining. But he said a really interesting thing, which really pertains to the movie, which is that they were playing music and it was echoing down the hallways, because The Shining's got that amazing Shining and Angel Heart. You can't listen to music from that era ever again without thinking of the way it sounds in The Shining.
So
that echoey, creepy vibe to it, you know?
Well, it's also that, and it's also like almost the chorale type singing with those almost like like Indian classical type like melodies and stuff going with it.
And they sing through that big megaphone thing.
Yeah.
So they always sound like they're down the hallway to begin with.
But remember also in 2001 though, when they approach the monolith, on the moon, it's got that same exact thing going on. That kind of like wild like vocal chants, for lack of a better term.
And then Alan Parsons straight up lifted that for his first record. That exact sound.
There's an interesting story about the music in 2001. He so that was a guy named George Ligeti, who did all that choral music. The really kind of austere. But so Stanley Kubrick really wanted that music in there, temped all that music in, and then Warner Brothers or whoever it was like, "There's no way, we have to have an original score for this." So they hired this famous film composer, Alex North. And he came in and wrote, he had all this music for it, but Stanley Kubrick just kept giving them this like hard time about it constantly. And he finally, they came in to mix the music, but he had like a stroke or something like that, Alex North, from all the pressure. So they had to pull him in on a gurney into the mixing studio to do the music for it. And then something happened with it, and somehow Stanley Kubrick found a way of just dumping the whole score for it anyway and using all the temp music.
Wow.
George Ligeti music he didn't get permission for that. And when that composer saw it in the film in a theater for the first time, he was like, "What the fuck?"
Oh, that's right. He went to the premiere and none of his music was on it.
Well, that happened too.
I remember hearing about this. I think maybe you told that story to us when we were working on the videos for
I think so.
But I remember, the guy showed up and was just heartbroken.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but that guy who did that choral music that's in the film, he didn't know that music was even in the film. So when he saw it in the theater, he was also like, "What is this? Unacceptable." But then years later, he was like, "Well, it's pretty cool." So,
I mean, 2000 though might also be one of the best classical albums if you think about it, with the amount of different scores they have going on. I mean,
it's like a greatest hits. So neither one of those composers were like Meat Sauce, because if Meat Sauce had seen the movie, he'd just go, "Isn't my music great?"
you would, that is true. Yeah.
I did that.
So, yeah.
Oh my God.
I also heard that we were just talking about Eyes Wide Shut, but Eyes Wide Shut, that was like Kubrick didn't even finish that movie. Like he approved, he sent like one to, I think it was with Cruise and Kidman, they watched it, and then he was like, okay, yeah, that's good, and he died right afterwards. But I don't even know if that was like his last edit to it, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it was pretty close, though. That was the one thing that I did hear, that it was close enough to be like, well, you can't say this wasn't the film he wanted to make because it was so close to being done.
Sure. Yeah.
It definitely feels like,
you know.
it definitely feels like it was pretty far along. I love that movie. I love that movie.
Dude, like I said, man, it's my favorite Christmas movie. So
Did he edit those? Did he do his own editing and directing, or like?
Well, he supervised it. He had editors, but he supervised it.
A lot.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
The cool thing too is that like it's based off of a European novel, like or a story. Yeah.
And an old novel, right? Like a novel from like the 30s or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like it's all that whole weird dream sequence, which just kind of makes it all. It's such a cool movie. The audio too, like with everything, like that whole scene. What's the guy's name? The name of the piano player, Nick.
Nick. Is it Nick Knight?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he
almost
goes.
Sounds too good to be true. But
Sorry, it's Nick Nightingale.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah, Nick Nightingale. And so he sees him performing, and it's like this really cool jazz piece. And then when it goes, and then also you just the epic, the best scene in the whole entire film, you know, where when he's in there and the huge house, you know, somewhere in upstate New York.
Yeah.
And it's fucking awesome, man.
So I always give credit though for the fight scene when they're smoking pot in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's super. That's got to be one of the most realistic couples arguments in a film.
Dude, so true, man. Yeah.
I mean, that is really spot on the way it just kind of like it's they're having a good time and everything's okay, and then he says the wrong thing, and all of a sudden it kind of just starts going sideways.
Yeah.
Well, I took an edible last night, and I didn't have a fight, but I was laughing like Nicole Kidman in that scene. I was just like, the entire time I was like, oh shit, that's such a. I was just thinking the same thing. Like, this is such a real thing, you know.
Oh yeah.
I sent Joseph over a song. I haven't listened back to it yet. He says he's got an idea for it, so it might make the new record. But guys, I'm stealing my neighbor's Wi-Fi, so I'm gonna sign off here though. But continue on. You know, nice to have a little Kubrick aperitif.
Yeah. We should all have been dead center. Everyone go dead center in the frame. That's a Kubrick thing.
All right, guys, I'm out. Okay, talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
That was Jake Dreyer, everyone.
What did he send you, Joseph?
He sent me about 3 minutes of drunken guitar madness and swearing. So which is how a lot of Witherfall songs start, and then it's my job to decipher and rearrange these things into some sort of structure.
You could just make a supercut of Zeus flipping off the camera and of Jake messing up and saying fuck when he plays a part.
Dude,
it would be 3 hours long.
Dude, it would stretch from here to the moon if you put it on 2-inch tape.
Yeah, it'd be awesome to have a montage of Jake going from 14 to 30, messing up riffs and saying fuck. Well,
oh my god. So we've had a couple people saying some things. They're asking about bands. Peter, this is a movie episode of our web series here. Do you have any movie related questions? But thank you, Montana Wiki. I still Mushroom Voice. Do you know Agents of Oblivion? Max Riggs? I don't know that artist.
I don't.
No, no one. It's the rookies. That I could never listen to something. Couldn't do it. It's too like perverted uncle to me. I don't. Something wrong with it. So speaking of Kubrick, I've never actually watched 2001 all the way through. Never happened.
Oh, actually, I'm not surprised. I think it's like a film that like a lot of people hear about, and I mean, a lot of people, everybody hears about that film. And I think it's one of those ones that's it's just not for everybody. I mean, I love that film, and there's still parts of it that I kind of like. Oh my god, he's been trying to unlatch the door for like 45 minutes.
You know what Roy Scheider said when they made 2010? He said 2001 is, and this is the best review because it's true. He said it's the greatest boring movie of all time.
Yeah, it's kind of true. I
And
mean, I love that film.
You got to be a genius to make a great boring movie, but that's a fair assessment, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, we're blessed to live in LA, so like if you haven't seen it, they show it on the big screen like 4 times a year in 70 millimeters. So I've seen it on the big screen probably like 9 times.
Yeah.
It sounds like a drink.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you know, all movies are meant to be seen on the big screen, but particularly some movies, you know, some animals are more equal than others, as George Orwell said.
So true. You know, the other great one you can't leave out of there is Dr. Strangelove.
Oh, yeah.
Peter Sellers kills it in that. I mean, that's one of those ones you could watch over and over again just to watch the Peter Sellers parts. Because he plays those 3 different characters.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
What is this? There's no fighting. This is the war room. No fighting.
No fighting in the war room? Yeah, those characters he does are so different. There's there's the German guy in the wheelchair, and then there's the bald American president who's, trying to reassure everybody that it's fine.
Yeah, I've never seen Dr. Strangelove either.
Oh yeah.
It's super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty brilliant.
I've heard people say it's the best movie ever, but
yeah, it's not the best movie. It's a very particular kind of movie, especially because it's black and white. It's a little bit dated.
Yeah,
you got to be into the subject. But it is.
I always thought that even about A Clockwork Orange, that people are like, oh, it informed all those punk bands and all that punk fashion. But I'm like, are there any punk fans with the attention span to sit through that movie?
Well, that one doesn't seem as hard to watch through. Like Clockwork Orange it goes by, there's a lot of pretty easy to watch stuff in that.
Well, that's the Joseph one because there's a lot of boobs in it.
That's the ultra violence.
I'm not a violence guy, even though I write about violence.
Oh, I'm a violence guy.
Yeah, we know that, Adams. I've seen you at a fucking 7-Eleven at 3 a.m.
Well, I mean, and also cinematically speaking, yes.
You're into the cinematic violence.
Yeah.
How many kills are in that movie that you're trying to finish up? Dozers.
I was trying. I set out to have a kill every 4 minutes. So there's a good. Yeah, there's a lot. I spent my life savings on that movie. I guess I should finish it at some point.
Yeah, his friend, this actress, cuts off some guy's head while giving a lap dance to one of my songs.
Yes, there's also
that's how we met.
And then a pregnant woman runs off with the head.
Oh, I didn't see that.
And that kid is like now 14. So that's how long I've been working on this movie.
Well, those are the kind of stories that really help promote that film, In fact, if you wait another 5 years, it'll be a film that was like 20 years in the making. So it'll really have this kind of. We were
we were just talking about that. I was talking about how I saw Roger Waters do The Wall live, and Roger Waters' son Harry was playing keyboards in the band.
Right.
And Harry is the little kid who says, "Look, Mommy, there's an airplane up in the sky on the wall." So
Right.
imagine being on stage playing in your dad's band and hearing you, 4 years old, saying a line that has been famous for the last 30 years.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff like that. It's like Jason Bonham up there playing, taking his dad's place, and then he's been doing it so long now that everyone knows him as,
Yeah.
You're going to actually mention generations of people who like, who was his dad?
It's one of those. It's one of those things like if you ever see the skipper from Gilligan's Island, Alan Hale Jr., his dad, Alan Hale, looks exactly like him. So when I was a little kid, I used to see Westerns and I'd go, was the skipper alive in 1930? Because they look exactly like each other.
See, any more questions for the fucking peanut gallery here? Let me see.
She's all right. She's hanging out.
Brad, oh my God, the bulldog. I'm interested to, how many hours does it take to edit a 12-minute video?
Well, that's a great question coming from you in particular.
Well, for the average fan,
you guys have like 500 extra edits per song.
It's about 2 days for the average band and about 7 days of Witherfall.
Yeah, it's kind of like editing to like Baroque music where there's like, 500 points versus like 8 points for like, a normal pop song or something.
Right.
A lot of stuff going on. But by the way, I mean, that's always, never fails to amaze me how talented you guys are and how much stuff's going on with those songs. Like how many parts are woven into it every time and the layers of things happening and the precision. That's actually, by the way, speaking of shooting these videos, that is one thing for sure that is pretty amazing is that when we shoot these videos, people probably wouldn't know this, that you guys can play back like note for note everything that's happening in the recorded song, which always kind of blows me away when we're shooting it because we'll sync it up later on and it's like, well, every single note was there.
That happened way back in the day when Jake and Will Waldner were in Wizard with Joseph, and I would shoot them live. And Jake Dreyer, you could literally cut the record over top of him playing. But Waldner was like a bluesy guy, so he was loose, so he wouldn't sync up,
Yeah, you had to over.
Yeah.
The thing about Witherfall is that we do approach it like it's classical music. Like we're not like, we love rock music and we have like some rock like feel and dirtiness, but it's the compositions are what they are. They don't change.
Yeah.
Rosanna Seca is back, Don Adams. She was with us last time. Good night, all. Super something of metal. No Spanish before.
There's a curse upon us? No, I'm reading it wrong.
Already?
Yeah.
Wasn't that the last video?
Yeah. Which, by the way, that video just did 113,000 plays.
Wow, that has been moving. I'll look at it and be like, oh, it was like 60, and then it was like, oh, it's 88. So yeah, it keeps moving along.
Nice.
It's doing really well.
No, that was pretty amazing.
Let's hope for Wednesday.
We'll have that's happening.
The SIG video, Insidious, doing okay. Doing all right. Maybe we should have left.
The stars was sort of the line for the ceremony one. All the parts just kind of came together for that, which was just kind of incredibly fortunate sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, I've got like 5 minutes left today because I've got to go back and put the rest of the house together after the power was out for like the last 4 hours at the end of the day. So
let's do a last call then for questions. Vaughn, do you have anything to say about this new Witherfall video besides you're tired of looking at our fucking sad faces?
the one that's coming up,
Yeah.
I think it came out really great. I mean, I do really like it a lot. And actually, it does really kind of have all the stuff we talked about. I think before we wanted to shoot it, it was one of those ones that really came out to be exactly what we were kind of hoping to get after doing it. You know?
Yeah, I liked it. I like the way it came out.
It's definitely the only music video you'll find with Don Adams filling his fat face on screen for 4 seconds straight on the left side of the frame. And then strangely, there's a shot of Jake recording guitars, and I don't know why, but I'm running Pro Tools. Did you notice that? I'm in the chair running Pro Tools, and I don't know why at JJ's. And I didn't even notice it for like the first 200. You know, you cut something so many times that you don't notice, like the guy on a unicycle in the gorilla mask in the center of the frame. And I'm like, what? That's me. What am I doing there?
Right.
But I think just somebody didn't show up for work or something. Well, it's JJ, so we know who didn't show up for work. But.
Oh, oh God, yeah. Well, you know how many people sat in that fucking engineer's chair?
Like 9. Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
We had to put other chairs there because JJ would pass out, and you just have to kind of move him over and then put another chair.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, we have no other questions. Let's wrap this, fellas. This was great. I'm gonna get with Jake and figure out what the fuck he was doing last night. But
yeah,
I think there'll be a song out of it. So I will speak to you guys soon.
Real soon, Mike. Yeah.
Sometimes the world no longer needs a hero. Sometimes what it needs is a monster. Sometimes the world no longer needs a hero. Sometimes what it needs is a monster.